In the far future, humans had spread across the galaxy. They settled on many different planets, making friends and enemies along the way. One of the things that made humans unique was their strong emotions, especially their anger. It wasn't just that they got angry, it was what happened when they did. Aliens in the galaxy knew about humans. They had heard stories. They knew about the wars and the battles humans had fought on their home planet. They knew humans could be kind and creative, but when they got angry, things changed. The most powerful species in the galaxy were the Zor'kali, giant alien beings with unmatched technology and strength. The Zor'kali ruled over hundreds of planets, and they thought they were the most powerful race in the universe. They looked down on humans, considering them weak, primitive, and easy to control. But there was one thing the Zor'kali didn't understand: human anger. It all started on the planet Xylora, a world that the Zor'kali had recently conquered. The humans who lived there were workers, helping build a massive space station for the Zor'kali's warships. The Zor'kali didn't treat them well. They took their resources, gave them hard labor, and punished them for small mistakes. One day, a young human named Jenna was working in a factory when a Zor'kali overseer came to inspect. The overseer was tall, his skin a dark shade of green, and his eyes glowed with an eerie yellow light. He was known for his cruelty. Jenna had been working non-stop for hours, but the overseer didn't care. He found a small mistake in her work and immediately ordered her punishment. She was to be sent to the labor pits for a week. That was a harsh punishment, especially since the labor pits were dangerous and filled with poisonous gases. Jenna didn't cry, but something inside her snapped. She had taken so much from the Zor'kali, and now they were going too far. Her eyes burned with anger. The overseer watched as Jenna stood up, trembling with rage. But he didn't understand. He had seen creatures angry before. Most species' anger only lasted a few moments, and they would either fight or calm down. But humans were different. Jenna clenched her fists, and her entire body seemed to pulse with energy. Then, without warning, she screamed. It wasn't just a normal scream. The sound of her anger echoed through the factory, rattling the walls and shaking the ground beneath her feet. The Zor'kali overseer staggered back, his eyes wide in disbelief. His enormous body began to feel weak, his senses overloaded by the pure power of the human's rage. Suddenly, everything around them froze. Time seemed to slow as Jenna's anger radiated like an invisible storm. The overseer fell to his knees. He could feel his own strength draining away. He had never felt such fear in his life, fear of the humans standing before him. On the other side of the galaxy, the Zor'kali High Council watched in horror as the reports came in. Jenna's scream had triggered something, an ancient power buried deep within human DNA. When humans became truly angry, they could tap into something terrifying: fear itself. Fear was the one thing the Zor'kali had never understood. They ruled through strength and control, but they had no idea how to deal with a species that could make others feel fear with nothing but their emotions. It was a power that could not be fought with weapons, nor with technology. It was the kind of power that could bring entire fleets to their knees simply by unleashing the full force of human anger. Jenna's anger didn't last long, but when it faded, the overseer was left unconscious, and the factory was in ruins. The Zor'kali were forced to retreat and reevaluate their control over the humans. They had underestimated the small emotional creatures from Earth. And as for Jenna, she didn't feel proud or powerful. She simply walked away, knowing that something inside her had changed. Humans had the ability to overcome their fears, to fight back with their emotions, and to survive against all odds. The Zor'kali had learned a hard lesson that day: never anger a human. Because when you do, you risk unleashing something far more dangerous than a weapon, something that can make even the strongest of species tremble with fear. And the humans, well, they just smiled. They didn't need to explain. They knew.